Hi, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to cover a couple of HTML documents. Some of them have like JavaScript in it. So it's for homework 2, and I did 13 questions, and this was supposed to be due March 14th, but my professor told me I can do it now, so I might as well hand it in. So I'm going to start with the first question. Just copy the path so you can see the output in Chrome. So question 1 was exercise 4.4. Page 140 of the textbook, and it was an HTML document that sets up a repeating background image for the body of a web page. So we have our header, which is the doc type HTML, the head, the data title with repeating background. We use the style type text / CSS, and for our body paragraph, well, it's not a paragraph, our body section, I did the background image URL, and I got one of the photos from I guess online, and I chose one of my favorite Pokemon, which is Raichu. So it's like a Raichu .png, which I have right here. So that's what it looks like, if anyone was curious. And this is the background image. Just this is Raichu. We have the background position centered. It's going to be at the center of the page. And the background repeat is repeat X. This repeats the image a couple of times. And the background attachment is fixed. That means it's going to be fixed and it's going to be at a fixed position. So for question 1, here's our output. Let me zoom in a bit. I'm going to be a little wonky. This is what it looks like, zoomed out a bit. So basically, the image is being repeated multiple times in the document. Okay, that was question 1. Move on to question 2. So question 2 here is another HTML page that sets up basic styling for headings and the body of a web page. This is exercise 4.15 of the textbook on page 141, and I did the title padding and another style tag, the style type text / CSS. With the heading 1 and heading 2, I made them both the border style be dashed, the padding be 0.15 EM, and the margin 0.15 EM. And the body paragraph is going to be the background color is going to be white smoke. It's kind of like an off-white. So in our body, I put hello, my name is Christine, and my favorite color is purple. Let's copy the path of our document. Let's see our output. And this is what our output is. It will be my name and my favorite color. And for that little dashed right here, the border style dash, our border is going to be dashed. Okay, question 3 is going to be exercise 4.7 of the textbook, page 141, and it's an HTML document that sets up a basic template for our web page. It includes some CSS styling to define the appearance of the header, paragraphs, and selections. And it's the title's template. And our box sizing right here is this CSS rule applies the box sizing property to all elements, ensuring that padding and borders are included in the element's total width and height. So the box sizing element, and it's the border box. And our header's background color is going to be this lilac color that I chose. And it's going to be, the text align is going to be at the center. And the font family is going to be Arial, Helvetica, Sans Serif. The padding is 20px. The font size is 24px as well. This little P tag is going to have the background color khaki. The font size 24. The margin right 2%. The font family Arial, Helvetica, and Sans Serif. The float's going to go to the left. The text align is going to be at the center. And the width is going to be 40. And the section border is going to have 1px, and the color is also going to be khaki. The body color, the body tag, the background color is also going to be khaki. Just close the style tag. And we have our first header. So our header goes after the body. It basically just begins our page. And it'll say, I wrote, this is my header for homework to question 3, and my name. And I wrote some facts about axolotls. So let's see the output. Homework 3, copy the path. So this is what it looks like. It will say, this is my header for homework 2, question number 3, with my name. I did some fun facts about axolotls. Paragraph 1, axolotl fact 1. Axolotls have an astonishing ability to regenerate body organisms and lost limbs. Incredibly, an axolotl can grow back lost limbs in only a few weeks. It can even regenerate lungs, heart, spinal cord, and parts of the brain. If it suffers a head injury or heals without any scarring. And another fact about axolotls is that although they're critically endangered, the axolotl has very few predators. In the wild, the axolotl is pretty much on its own, although it does have a couple of other aquatic competitors that consider the Mexican walking fish as part of their food chain. The carp and the tilapia happen to enjoy the taste of axolotl. So that's my output for question number 3. Okay, question 4. Question 4 is exercise 4.8 of the textbook on page 141 as well. And it's an HTML document that creates a web page listing my favorite websites to learn programming languages in. So basically what I did for homework 4 is that I basically listed my favorite websites using the ordered list and the list tags. So like I will be right here, my favorite websites for programming, and my style type is text CSS. My heading 1 is going to be this little baby blue color, as well as this a tag and a hover. This tag here will just make the element hover a bit. And inside my body, I have a H1 tag, which is my favorite websites to learn programming in. And this P strong tag is going to say, click the link to check them out. I have an ordered list. Basically, just orders your an ordered list will have your elements ordered by numerically. Like in this case, it's going to be 1 through 4. This lists all of the websites I compiled together. Now I'm just copy the path. So these are my favorite websites to learn programming in. So you can see here, I can click on the links to check them out, and they're all linked as well. Like Nemo, Udemy, Codex, and SoloLearn. Here's Nemo. It's going to be redirecting me to Memo shortly. Just give it a second. My Wi-Fi isn't that slow. I'm sorry, it's not. My Wi-Fi isn't that great at the moment. So here's Memo. Udemy is also another good website to learn programming in. Codex. It's like a website you can learn programming, but it's like has like a gaming twist to it. And SoloLearn is also here as well. Okay. So the hover of dark salmon that I use makes the words hover in a different color. Right here. So question 5. Let's move on. So question 5 is exercise 5.4 of the textbook, which is on page 183. And I wrote this HTML code creates a text stroke on the phrase new WebKit features. It makes the color if the font light blue and uses a 3-pixel navy text stroke and sets the font size to 700%. So, what I did, I used this little, the title already, I did the style type of CSS, text/CSS. I did an assignment tag. This basically just gives me access to, the WebKit, and it's going to be WebKit-text-fill color. They'll turn the color of the inner letters light blue, and this keystroke one right here, WebKit text stroke, is going to have it's going to be 3.0 pixels, and the inner color, the color stroke is going to be navy blue, and our font size is 700. It's the size of the text, and our P class, our paragraph class assignment, will take this guy from here. It's going to make it have that feature, and the title, of course, is going to be new WebKit features. So let's copy path, paste and go. So let's start output for question number 5. So as you can see, it now says new WebKit features. Question number 6 is next. So question number 6 is exercise 5.5 of the textbook, which is on page 183. It's an HTML document that has 3 divs, 3 div elements, each with a width and height of 100, and making the background of each element a different color. So I did 3 separate divs. This div has a width of 100 and a height of 100, and they all have the same width and height, as you can see for div 2 and div 3. But this time, for this one, this guy is going to be pale green for div 1, the border radius of 10 px, and the border of solid black. And this div 2 is going to have a different color than div 1, which is going to be a pale turquoise. And div 3 is going to be different from div 2 because it has the background color of pale violet red, which is div number 3. Other than that, with the exception of the color, all the elements are basically the same. So here is my div classes for all 3 elements. I made 3 separate classes, like div classes for each element, just so they'll hold. Now we just copy this, copy the path, just paste here, paste and go. As you can see, it's going to be outputted in different divs, different pixels with the width and the height. So this first div has 10 px, the second div has 100 px, and our third div has 50 px. So that was number 6. Okay, number 7. Number 7 is going to be exercise 5.7 of the textbook, and it's on page 184. And it's an HTML document that creates a diagonal linear gradient using the colors of the rainbow. It's Roy G. Biv. Roy G. Biv is short for the colors of the rainbow, which are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So I created a style, and here's our div for our gradient rainbow. And the width of 500 px, and the height of 500 px. They're both the same. We have I did a border with 3 px solid gold. That's just to make it aesthetically pleasing. And I did the background image. I used the WebKit gradient, and it's with a linear. It's the top right and it's the left bottom. So the color stop here, as part of the WebKit gradient, will have different colors. So I did all of the colors of the rainbow, like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And it's going to show in different percentages. For example, red is going to be, that section is going to be 90% red. And then it's going to move on to orange, which is 80%. And then it's going to go to yellow, which is 60%, and so on. To our last one, the violet is going to be 5%. It isn't really going to show much, but we'll see in our output. Copy path. See, and it has the gradient. I did a title here, but it should be fine. Our border is right here. Here is from red to violet. And it's like a gradient, so it blends naturally with all the colors. Okay, question 8. So question 8 is exercise 5.9 of the textbook. It's page 184, and it's an HTML document that creates an infinite animation of a element moving in a square pattern. So we have our animation text. We get this little box here, and it's positioned at the absolute, and it's the border solid and it's solid black. We used our WebKit again, but this time it's going to be for animation. And we have an animation. It's linear. It's 5 seconds, and it's going to be infinite. It basically means that our output, when started, it's going to go in an infinite loop. So, and this guy here will do the same thing. The mouse animation will be linear, 5 seconds, and infinite. So these will repeat. And these frame rates right over here will repeat in a pattern, and they're basically similar to each other. And I created a div based on the box right here. That's going to be this as a text with an infinite animation. Let's copy the output right here. Let's see what it's going to be. Paste it down. See, it says this text is with infinite animation, and it's being outputted in a square. Okay. Let's go to number 9. So question number 9 is sorry, a little thirsty. So question 9 is exercise 5.13 of the textbook, which is on page 184. And it's an HTML document recreating a section from the Detail Internet and World Wide Web textbook using flexboxes. So after the style element here, we use a flexbox, which is going to be a div, and it's going to be a border of 2px. It's solid black. The border rate is going to be 10px. Padding is going to be 20 by 20 by 20, and our width is going to be 40%. With the height of 50, the box shadow is 5px each with gray, and the display is going to flex. And these are each of the 4 elements that will be our output. They all have the background color gray, and this flexbox hover will just have each element hover a bit, even before you click on it. And the color will be white as you hover at that element. And this just sets the image height of all of our elements in that section. And the margin is going to go to the left. And these create hover in various colors of those 4 elements, which is royal blue, crimson, purple, and dark green. We have the style, the head. We did div class. And this basically, I did the photo here. The thumbs down is actually part of the textbook. Thumbs down is actually right here. So to have your code work, you have to have all of the PNG files within the same folder, or else any of your outputs won't run properly with photos. Thumbs down, the wrong, correct, and calculate. And this basically came from that textbook. And I just talk about programming practices and whatnot. Output number 9, copy path. See, this is our output. It'll just have different options like good programming practices, error prevention tips, common programming errors, software engineering observations. And this is their mascot for the textbook that they use. I think it's a fly or a bee. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's go to question 10. Question 10 of the textbook is exercise 5.14, and it's on page 184. It's an HTML document that includes 5 images. When the user hovers over an image, the size of the image should increase by 20%. So what I did for this page is that I did my 5 favorite dog breeds. That's the title I'm going to choose, 5 favorite dog breeds. And I did 5 different images of my favorite dog breeds. I used the style, image dim, image hover, and this uses the hover image. It'll go by 20%. And this is the WebKit again, but it's WebKit transform. And then the scale is set at 1.2. The image dim will be width and height of 100. And the mods transition would be 0.5 seconds, ease in. Here's each of my div classes. This is actually one div class, but what I have here is my favorite dog breeds. So let me actually close this div. Actually, I forgot to close it, funny enough. There we go. Let's save that. Okay. And now we're going to just output this, copy the path. I have my favorite dog breed, just do the output. See, and I'll just hover. And when you hover the image, I'll say hover over the image. And my favorite dog breeds are corgis, Yorkshire Terriers, the Bull Terrier, the American Bull Terrier, a Samoyed, and a, what's that called? Dog called? I'm so sorry. The Dachshund. So yeah, it's question number 9. No, question number 10. That's my bad. Question 11 is exercise 6.19 of the textbook, which is on page 213. And it's an HTML script that gets the user the radius of the circle and outputs HTML5 text and displays the circle's diameter, circumference, and area. And it's basically a circumference, area, and diameter calculator. I started with this script language, JavaScript, and we created a function called calculate area. And these all here formulates the circumference of an area. These are just formulas for the area, circumference, and diameter of different shapes. And document.write the printing statement. And it'll say the circumference of a circle is, the circumference of the area of a circle is, and the diameter of the circle is. It's going to print out the different like circumferences, different calculations of the area and whatnot. I do apologize if I sound a little bit mumbly, but I am outside, and plus I need a drink. And this ends our script tag. We create a form called form 1. We did center, and it's going to be enter the radius of the circle. We did input type text, named radius value. The size of this text is going to be 20. We did an input type button. That's going to be value calculate. It's a non-click. A calculate area. This is basically our button. Let's copy and paste this. Copy the path. Paste and go. And it'll say enter the radius of a circle. I'm just going to do a random number, like 25. It'll calculate the areas for us. So our output is going to have the circumference of that circle is 1,963.50. The area of this circle is 157.08, and the diameter of this circle will be 50. Okay. So question 12 is exercise 6.22 of the textbook. It's on page 213, and it's an HTML script that reads in 2 integers to determine the output HTML5 text as it displays whether the first is a multiple of the second. So I did the script, and in the variable 1 and 2, 1 and 2 is going to have a window prompt. I did the first integer, and number 2 is going to have enter the second prompt. For number 2, we did an if statement. If the number 1 is a remainder of number 2 equal to 0, it's going to alert the first integer multiple the second integer, and else the first is not a multiple of the second integer. Let's see this real quick. Copy the path. So it's going to have this little search bar here. The page says enter the first integer, going to be 23. Enter the second integer, 23. It says the first integer is a multiple of the second integer. Let's do something that isn't the same thing as that number. Let's do 12 and 22. This output says first is not a multiple of the second integer. So that's something that would happen if it wasn't that case. On to the last one. Okay, so question 13 is going to be exercise 6.24. And it's on page 213. So this is just a number square cube output. And this line right here, I start my strip here. This line document.write right over here. And this line of JavaScript code uses the document.write method to write a table header row with a column header, number, square, and cube to the document. And this for loop here, this is the start of a for loop in the JavaScript. Initiates a variable of numbers with the value of 0, executes loop body as long as the number is less than or equal to 5, and increments the number by 1 to each iteration. Right over here. Sorry. Got a bit distracted with my for loops. And this one right here is going to be this line of code, right? This line, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, my words. So this line of code will say, this JavaScript code is executed in each iteration of the for loop, and it uses the document.write method to write a table row in cells containing the current value of number, its square, and its cube to the document. This ends our document here. The script I mean. Let's see our output for this final question. Path. Sorry for the noise. I'm outside at the moment. It's a little hot in my house, so I'm out here. So I'll print out number square cube. We'll do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are the outputs. Let me zoom in for you if it's too small. That's our output for the final question. Okay, so that's all of the questions that was available in homework 2. I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, comments, and concerns, don't hesitate to leave a comment. And make sure you like and comment this video. Thank you so much for watching.